got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, and have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Time!
What's up, man? What's up? It's your boy TGK. I felt like we needed to discuss what happened yesterday or last night, right? And I guess it's like a somber vibe, right? I'm calling this Game 4 Fallout, so this is kind of playing on the Fallout series. It's one of my favorite games of all time, so hence why I played some oldies kind of music just to kind of set the mood. We're literally in a Maverick wasteland, right? Where we're struggling with our feelings and our mental and everything, right? That loss last night, I'm pretty sure it took a lot out of y'all. It took a lot out of me. I didn't sleep well because I've always said it, and I live and die with this team. It's my favorite team. Not just because Luka's here, not just because Kyrie's here. It is literally my favorite team. Okay. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan through and through. And so whenever I see them lose, it hurts like hell. When I see them win, it's great, right? It's fun. It's a blast. When they lose, man. It's like a nuclear fallout, literally. And this is what it is. All the debris has fell, and now this is what we're dealing with. And now we're here to discuss, man. So I definitely want to talk to y'all about quite a few things. I definitely want to welcome some people up on stage eventually to kind of air their grievances. This is a place for us to really vent. You know what I'm saying? Like, vent it out. Like, I know it was super toxic yesterday, and maybe we were saying things that we didn't necessarily mean. Trust me. If anybody knows that, I know that. So, again, we could talk about the positives. We could talk about the negatives. Whatever y'all want to get into, man. Again, always, this is a safe space. So if you feel like you want to get something off your chest, there's going to be opportunity for that verbally, like on the show. Or if you just want to comment it, by all means. Again, I'm your host, TGK. This is TGK TV. I run the official Dallas Mavericks pregame show. And what we're doing today is just really kind of just a vent session. I feel like this, I'm trying to help, okay? I'm trying to help those that haven't that haven't compartmentalized their feelings tonight or from last night, right? Because man, I've been watching. I've been watching the timeline on Twitter, and it has not been a safe space, right? Especially when you see shit like this, man. Look at this right here. Yeah, so apparently this is something that the OKC Thunder fans do every time. I've never seen it. I'm not finna do no research. No disrespect to you OKC fans. Live it up, man. Have fun. Like I remember us doing that for the Mavericks. I remember '06 specifically when we beat the Phoenix Suns to advance to the NBA Finals, and then we went straight to the airport when they got there. Right, late at night, we did that. Did the same thing in 2011. Welcomed them back, right? So it's to me it's kind of odd to be doing this in the semifinals. But hey, go off, King. Not King from We Talk Mavs, but go off, King. If this is what's gonna make y'all all right and feel like you can celebrate a Game 4 victory, which I understand, it is a big time victory. This is a massive victory. If it was just some ordinary victory, I wouldn't be live streaming right now. That was a big ass game yesterday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that game. That was not your ordinary Game 4 game at all. Like it's just no way. It's no way. Now, you can't convince me otherwise, right? But to see their fans celebrating that lets me know that that is a different level of fandom over there, right? I think we do got hardcore diehard fans like that in Dallas. I just don't know if it's to the level of OKC, to be completely honest. I think some of us were crazy like that. I think some of us is probably, how would I say? Well, we haven't had an opportunity to do these things in such a long time, right? But now that I've gotten older, like, running to an airport at 1 a.m. is not what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
But yeah, man. So, I hope they feel better about themselves, but I hope the Mavericks, like the players, the organization, the team, I hope they saw that and they took some kind of motivation from it. Like, you could have prevented that. And OKC fans were telling me, like, regardless, they were going to do it regardless. Like, they said whether win or lose, they were going to do it regardless. So that's definitely something that, we could have, that I felt we could have stopped, right? That's what I felt we could have done. But let's look into some other stuff, man. And I know some of this is like, oh, why are we watching this? Well, this is a way for us to kind of get over that loss last night, right? Like, if we got Shannon Sharp calling out Luka, like, this is kind of crazy, right? Check this out, man. If it'll play. Is it playing? Oh, play.
Series at 2-2. Now, despite a triple-double, Luka, not his usual self last night, and he was held to 18 points on 6-20 shooting, continuing a downward trend the last couple games. Here's Luka on why the off night by him and Kyrie. Okay, we'll start with the multiple award winner, Shannon Sharp.
Here we go.
How much of the Game 4 are you putting on Luka?
A lot. Because if you look at this, the way the series is played out in 4 games, P.J. Washington's been their best player. And therein lies the problem. When you're counting on Kyrie and Luka to do the heavy lifting, and then P.J. chips in, he's been doing the heavy lifting. If you look outside of Game 2, Luka has not played well. For whatever reason, Kyrie can't get it going in the first half. He turns it on in the second half. But last night in the second half, he only gave you 9 total points. That's not good enough. And this was the second best team in clutch situation. You're down by 5 in the last 5 minutes of the game. And last night they gave it up because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he would not let them lose. Because when there were a situation where this thing could have went, it was an 8, it could have gone to 12, 10, 12, maybe even 14. He made every shot. He made every play. And
Unfortunately,
it seems like
he did.
the more and more the better and better he played, the more and more confident they got. Jalen Williams all of a sudden started making shots. Chet Holmgren hit 2 big threes. But the problem that Luka has, guys, maybe it's just me, but damn, you got to stop all this complaining, Monica. Every time they grabbing me, they looked at me funny. He tried to trip me.
They looked at me.
And he's falling on the ground. He's not getting back, and they're laying the ball up on the other end. And a lot of times it's his guy. Chet Holmgren hit a 3 because he's bull jiving laying down on the court. I know he's beat up. But, bro, you can't put just the team in a situation where they're playing 5-on-4. Luka Bears, he's the best player on this team. He finished 3rd in the MVP voting. He has to bear the majority of the responsibility,
Take this dog outside.
especially when you're at home and you had a 14-point lead and you had an 9-point lead in the 4th quarter. You and Kyrie need to deliver this team home and should have been up 3-1, headed back to OKC with a chance to turn the lights out of the building. Luka bears a lot of the responsibility because for the first 4 games, P.J. Washington has been their best player.
Good. Well,
All right. So that was crazy, right? They hear someone like Shannon Sharp call out Luka for some things that a pocket of people in the Mavericks have said about Luka. Now, can we admit that he has been reverting back to complaining a lot, Luka, or whatever you want to call it, like the super complaining Luka Doncic? Like, unfortunately, I do feel like he's reverted back to that. Damn, I ran a little bit and I'm out of breath. That's crazy. I'm an athlete, or I think I am. Like I literally played 5 games over the weekend with Slightly Biased, and Nick Ank said, shameless plug, I ran full court. Like, wow, I literally just jogged like 10 steps. Why would I be? I'm ashamed of myself. All right, now, no, but I think Luka is pressing, bro. I think because of his limitations, because of the Shea Gilgeous effect, I think the calls that he gets does get under Luka's skin in a way, because he doesn't get the calls that Shea gets, right? Luka is literally experiencing him getting beat the F up and no calls, and Shea Gilgeous runs into the lane, ticky-tack fouls, and gets a call. Now, I need Luka to kind of just look at it a little bit differently, right? I'm not here to criticize the man. That man's doing everything he can to help us win, but the complaining is an issue. Like if you can't even recognize that, then I don't know what to tell you. The complaining is an issue. It could demoralize your teammates. It could demotivate them. It could do all that stuff because, like, damn, why my leader complaining? I might as well complain too. It's how would I put it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's an influence, I guess. I don't know. It's damn, I forgot the word. Like when everybody like gets motivated by it. Anyway, so my thing is, like, I think Luka needs to look at his game a little bit different, knowing that he is limited. Because when you did get the foul, you missed the free throw to be able to tie up the game, right? So why does Luka want a foul call all the time if he's going to miss free throws? Now, he's been shooting them pretty great in this postseason, but when he got it, when the moment counted the most, he missed a crucial free throw, man. Now, am I here to criticize Luka? Yes and no. Am I here to criticize Kyrie? Yes and no. Am I here to kill them? Absolutely not. But is there different ways that they could have approached that game last night? Obviously, 2020, anyone, look at this guy, you know, he has the fortunate ability to be able to, you know, give us, you know, back-end information on what we should have done. I really don't care about doing that either. But I'm thinking of it more from a mentality perspective. I think, Luka, you're better off just making your shots. And if they foul you, they foul you. But going and trying to get these fouls for a free throw, F that, man. F that. Just go get your buckets, man. Just go get your buckets. I know, I understand, like, this is bugging him. It's pissing him off. But I think in these crucial games, a game like yesterday, you should have not came anywhere near losing to it. We shouldn't have lost. It's that simple. And I mean, I'm not blaming it all on Luka, and I'm not blaming it all on Kyrie or none of that stuff. But what I can blame it on is our free throws, and that not only goes to both of them, it goes to everybody else on this team. And boy, was that frustrating to watch last night. Very frustrating to watch. And I want to pull up the box score. I want to see where exactly we lost this game. Because damn, man, that game was something else. So let me pull this up. Let me show y'all. Because once again, PJ Washington gave you a great performance, and we just let it slip by and did nothing about it. And New York being Indiana, all right. All right, here we go. Damn, man, that's crazy. So here's the Mavericks box score. PJ Washington, 5 for 11 from 3, 7 for 19 from the field. As good as he did, he missed quite a bit of shots. He missed 12 to be exact. 6 from 3 and 6 from the field. Is that right? Damn. So he was 2 for 6 from the field and 5 for 11 from no. 2 for was he 2 for 7? He was 2 for 8. That man was 2 for 8 from the field and 5 for 11 from 3. Yikes. That's tough. But still, he led you in scoring. 12 rebounds. That was amazing. 1 block. 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Got to be better. Derrick Jones, great game. 17 points, 3 rebounds. 4. Derrick Jones Jr., 4 blocks. And we lost the game he gave us 4 blocks in. Shameful. That's shame. Shameful. But 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Got to be better there. Daniel Gafford, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Got to be better. Kyrie Irving, 4 for 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from the 3, 9 points, 9 assists. If you would have told me, ain't no way Kyrie's only going to score 9 points again, well, goddamn, he did. And 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Definitely got to be better. Kyrie's got to be able to give us more than 9 points. I don't know what other way to say it, right? Luka Doncic, 6 for 20, 2 for 9 from the three-point line, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, a great triple-double from a statistical aspect, but poor efficiency, unfortunately, like it's been the entire playoffs, and 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers is really bad, all right? 4 for 6 from the free throw line. Now, 4 for 6 for Luka ain't bad, but it's got to be better, especially when you had a opportunity to tie the game with free throws. Our bench unit, Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, if you look at our starting unit, the only player that was in the minus was PJ Washington. He was -1, and Daniel Gafford -5. Again, that's a weird stat, but you want to look at the rest of it, right? Then this is where you might look at it a little differently. Tim Hardaway Jr. was in the game 23 minutes, and in those 23 minutes, they were a -10 with his minutes on there. 6 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. No free throws, but he did shoot 50% from 3, so that's pretty good. Derek Lively, 25 minutes, a +2, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 effing blocks. That's crazy. 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Got to be better there. Josh Green, I thought he had a decent game looking at it, to eye test, but -14, 3 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 1 for 4 from the field. And it looked like Dante Exum had a pretty good game in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 5 points, 1 assist, and didn't see the court again. Heard someone talking. I shouldn't be hearing anybody talking. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I found out what it was. My fault. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, my little Milky, man. I'd DoorDash me some stuff, man. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was showing y'all the box score. So then the team stats, my fault for that. I just didn't expect to hear anybody in the background talking. I was like, what the hell? It's an empty home here. Like, I got creeped out a little bit. You know, when you start peeking out the window, like, man, who out there? You know what I'm saying? The Mavericks, bro. They held OKC to 25.9% from the three. And then we shot 34.3%. Somehow OKC got 4 more shots than us from the field. They got 92 total shots. We got 88. Why is that? In the previous game, we had 10 more shots than them. And then in the next game, we ended up getting less than 4 less than them. Why? Right? Why is that? We won't even get to the free throws yet. But the offensive boards, they matched us 12 and 12. And when you get offensive boards, you're going to get second opportunities. Steals, they had 4 more steals than us. Blocks, we had plenty of blocks. We had 13 blocks. They had 9 blocks. But total turnovers, we had 14 total. They had 8. And the points that they got off of those turnovers, if I read, points off turnovers. Is this correct? So points off. So this this number here on the OKC means how many points the opposition got off of their turnovers versus ours, right? I don't know. I'm assuming that they got 19 points off of our turnovers because they got so much more, right? Fast break points, they had 14 points in the paint. We dominated there. All that's fine and dandy, right? But here's where it all lies, man. Besides having 4 more shots, we had literally identical amount of free throw attempts. They shot 95.8% from the line. We shot 52%. If we would have shot, I don't know, 16 out of 23. I think 16 out of 23 is respectable, right? That would have been okay. That would have at least had the game tied. You know what I'm saying? 16 out of 23 would have at least tied a game. 17 out of 23 would have won you the game. But the free throws, man, took you out of the ability to have a final shot in the game. It was horrible, man. It was a horrible situation, and I'm mad that we had to live that. The fourth quarter, they scored 35 points. No other quarter did they get 30. They got 20, 23, 22, and then in that fourth, they went crazy. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he ended up having 34 points, 14 for 27 from the field, bro. 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers. This man does not turn the rock over. 6 for 6 from the line. He had a great game. You can't even. We could be mad at the loss, but they showed up and they played like they wanted to win. They did. They stepped up in the fourth. Our third quarter was horrible. We only scored 15 points there. Our fourth quarter was better, but our defense, we played great defense the majority of the game too. But Shai Gilgeous, he was just making shots. And you know what you need in these playoff games? You need your superstar to get you over the hump. Theirs did that. Theirs got them over the hump. Ours didn't get us over anything. And then that was the tough part about that game last night. I mean, I'm up watching this just like you are. I gotta get up at 5 and be on the road by 5:30 to make it to work on time and all this good stuff. I only got like 4 hours of sleep, man. Like, you know, trust me, I'm very fortunate that I have a job and I could do this. But would I much rather get 7 hours of sleep on a win? Oh, no. Would I much rather get 4 hours on a win and like, you know, I didn't sleep that well, but at least, you know, we got the win. Or 4 hours on a like, come on, you know what I'm saying? But if I knew we were gonna lose, I just would have slept earlier. But that was rough, man. That was rough. I want to show y'all some other stuff. Let me see here. Here, I want to check this out. So, Luka did the post game presser, right? he got asked a couple of questions. I want us to check this out together. Let's see what the hell, how he responds to this.
We're just going on at the free throw line tonight or what?
Luke, obviously,
Before we keep going, if y'all don't mind dropping a like on the video, man. Again, the likes help get this video out to other people in the algorithm going. Maybe other fans are interested in this kind of stuff. But definitely leave a like, man, if y'all don't mind. You know, I know it ain't no pregame show, but this is just us hanging out. Like, I'm literally eating cookies over here and chatting with you. But if y'all don't mind dropping a like, goes a long way. Again, I'm opening up the show here in a little bit. So for those that want to chat on the show, be prepped. Have your setup set up or have your mic set up and all that good stuff. Again, I'll have it. Oh, hold on. Oh, my God. This is how you know I haven't seen this. That's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. He's sarcastic as F, bro.
Feeling just physically right now?
Oh, no. This man's
Do you have any concern level about just the way this loss went and the ability to bounce back just from the way it lost, the fact that you guys missed those free throws?
No, I mean, no concern. We just got to be ready. You know, we got to play hard like we did today. I think we played really hard, big energy today. But like I said, some details, you know, cost us the game. And we just got to be ready again. And obviously it's going to be hard on the road, but we've done it before. We can do it again.
Hope so.
pretty dominant defensive performance by you guys through 3 quarters, and they scored 35 in the fourth. What changed in the fourth,
Great question.
other than obviously Shea making shots?
Yeah, I mean, he was unbelievable. He kept making shots. And maybe at some point we got to send double team, you know, too. He's just too good, very good. But every shot he took, you know, he was contested by PJ and DJ. But just, you know, he's very good in that. He works on that a lot. So he gets to his spot and then knock it in.
Is that the little 15, 16, 14 footer there that he makes a lot? Is that one of those shots that you guys kind of have decided you'll live with rather than at the rim or at the line, 3-point?
I don't know. I mean, that's his shot. I don't know how we're going to live with that. But like I said, you know, he gets to his spot, and it's just hard to stop him.
What
Lucas
was Jason's
funny,
message to you guys in the locker room afterward, just after it lost? Like
That stays in the locker room, man.
Okay. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Bro, Luca's hilarious, dog. He's hilarious, man. What is it with this house? Y'all heard that? I heard that. I'm going to have to keep one headset on. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Now I want to show y'all some different news, right? Some different pace here. Check this out, man. Why are we in the news for this, man? Why are we in the news for this? Look at what Stephen A. said, though.
Because Bronny James' name keeps propping up.
Bronny James.
That would happen to be the son of LeBron James, who's been medically cleared by the NBA's fitness to play panel. You may recall Bronny suffered the cardiac arrest 9 months ago during practice at USC. He underwent surgery to repair a congenital heart defect. James is now expected to remain in the 2024 NBA draft, but he still maintains his college eligibility. I understand the thinking here by Rich Paul for Clutch Sports, who obviously will be representing Bronny James and what have you. Bronny James himself, LeBron James, and the family. Because when you get cleared by the NBA play panel, obviously that goes a long way towards solidifying that health shouldn't be a concern for evaluators moving forward. Fair enough. The man averaged 4 points a game in his freshman year. We know health debilitated him. We know things weren't ideal for him in his first year at USC. We know he still has the option of remaining in college and could transfer somewhere else if he chooses not to stay at USC. We know all of these things. Here's what we really, really, really need to understand.
Okay.
This story at this moment in time has transitioned to a story that's not even about Bronny James anymore. It's about LeBron James. And let me tell y'all what's going on. I ain't asking. I ain't guessing. I'm telling you what I've been told. Take of it what you will.
Okay.
LeBron James is obviously eligible to sign an extension. He can choose to go elsewhere. He can choose to stay with the Los Angeles Lakers. And the reports are that he's looking for a 3-year contract extension. Fair enough. Fair enough.
3
Play
years.
until he's age 42, get his money, opt in this year for the $50+ million, opt out, gets even more than that over the next 3 years. You can look at all of that. Doesn't want to leave LA, built this beautiful mansion, is building another one. All of this stuff you hear. Let me tell you what else I've been hearing.
Uh-oh.
LeBron James is trying to get the Los Angeles Lakers to draft Bronny James with a second-round pick. He'd also like for J.J. Redick to be his next head coach. I'm just telling you what I've heard.
And Stephen ain't spilling the tea.
Now, that doesn't mean the Lakers want J.J. Redick. It doesn't mean they don't.
He's about to get to the
But
Mavericks.
J.J. Redick, I'm not going to dime out my colleague like that at ESPN. That's my guy. Love him to death. But it's all over the news about him being a candidate for the Lakers job. It is absolutely true. He's one of many. They haven't made a finite decision about anybody yet. But LeBron has. That's the guy he wants. Which would kind of explain why they're doing a basketball podcast together. I'm just guessing on that point. But it makes sense. Nevertheless, that has nothing to do with Bronny. Here's what does.
Okay.
The Lakers have a second-round pick. I think it's 55. You can't justify taking Bronny James with the 17th overall pick in the first round. There's no way in hell they could pull that off. Lakers
no.
pull that off, they'll get crucified.
Hell yeah.
And any vitriol that's received, LeBron James has brought that on because he's been so public about wanting to play with his son, which caused this whole brouhaha. Not realizing, because I know he didn't do it intentionally, but really not realizing the shrapnel of criticism that would bring down upon his son if he ends up getting drafted when so many people don't believe he deserves to be drafted. But here's a news flash, what I've also heard.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Bronny James might not make it to the Lakers' second-round pick. Because if a team like the Dallas Mavericks could position themselves to get him in the second round, they'll take him. Because LeBron said he wants to go where his son goes. And if you're the Dallas Mavericks, and you got Kyrie, and you got Luka, and LeBron James is willing to come to Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Whoa!
That might be the first time something's more popular than the Cowboys.
Damn.
Hold on. I don't think he
Nah, I
said
know that
Texas.
sounds-
He didn't say
And
Texas
you
the
got
right way.
Luka. And LeBron James is willing to come to Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Hey,
That
yo.
might be the first time something's more popular than the Cowboys. Now, I know that sounds like hyperbole, and it probably is, but I'm saying, damn, it's pretty damn close. Even when the Dallas Mavericks won the title in 2011, nobody was thinking about them like that. Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, and, stuff like that. But if LeBron James was to join Kyrie and Luka, because LeBron James has been on the record saying that he wants to play with his son, and obviously him being a billionaire, money's not an issue. Especially when him and his team talking to folks in Saudi Arabia to ultimately partner up with him so he can ultimately own an NBA team down the line. Money ain't an issue for LeBron James. Playing with his son is something he said was. And because that's known and that's understood, who knows what that could end up being. So you got the Lakers and the Dallas Mavs in the mix when it comes to Bronny James. The irony of all of this is so many people have questioned Bronny James and his capabilities at this juncture in his career. We ain't talking about the other son, Bryce, who's younger, who no one ever mentions. But I'm hearing this kid is the one that's got big-time skills. With tremendous
All right, man. So I just wanted to kind of change the vibes because it's been very somber about all the math stuff. I'm about to open up the chat here in a bit for everybody. But I've been on record of saying that if LeBron wants an opportunity to win titles before he retires, Dallas is the best option for that. And say he wants to come over here on a mid-level exception or a biannual, whatever the case may be. Just like Stephen A. said, money shouldn't be the issue. Championships should be the thing, right? So if they could draft Bronny, and obviously Bronny will probably not get any playing time, right? Maybe on some garbage time games, which LeBron can stay in and play with his son during those times. But I think if LeBron does want to add championships to his legacy, the Mavericks are probably the best case scenario where he could take a massive pay cut, come here, be the 3, in addition to developing Omax. So whenever LeBron leaves, Omax could take over. That was a scenario I had. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's funny now. To me, it's funny now that Mr. Stephen A. Smith is talking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and open the show for anybody that wants to hop on. Again, come on here with the idea of either you want to vent about the game last night, either you want to give a perspective about the game last night. Give us something. Just give us something, right? Give us something different for last night's game, and either you want to call out some Mavs fans, whatever the case may be. Feel free. Nick says, as much as I hate LeBron, if you could get him for a vet min, why won't you? Yeah, especially for a vet min, why wouldn't you, right? Let me go back and read some comments as I wait for a couple of guests to hop on. Let me see where we at. Kid Muse Backer says, sickening loss last night. Seeing the collapse in person was so. Damn, you were at the game? Oh, man. My condolences on that loss, bro. I think I went to a playoff game before. No, I don't remember going to. Oh, I do remember going to a playoff game we lost. Game 3 against the Clippers in 2021. Yeah, Game 3. That was a tough loss because we were winning, we were up, and then we ended up losing. I mean, it's crazy. Richard K says, like I was saying last game about the score staying close. The longer it goes, the more nervous I get. You know what's crazy, Richard, is when we were like dominating them in the first quarter. I was like, bro, we're only up by 7. It feels like we should be up by like 15 or 20. And I think the refs did a great job keeping them in the game. And I'm not making it about the refs, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we got Nancy in the building. What's up, Nancy? How you doing?
Hey, TGK, how you doing?
Hello, doing good. How you feeling? Well, what's on your mind? Hold on, let me pull you on screen. I got you. There we go.
Heartbreaking. I didn't watch any of the talking heads today because I didn't want to hear any of the crap. But if I could kind of give you all just a different perspective, I never talk about this, but I worked for a media company in media/marketing for 17 years. Live sports is the biggest ratings you can get. You know, especially you all got to think about how the last 7, correct me if I'm a little off in my years, you know, when you're immersed in things. I haven't been too far removed from it, but but long enough to know that the trend has been changing for the last 7 to 8 years of people, quote, cutting the cord and moving away from your standard TV and moving to streaming. I know everybody thinks that because you hear about the ratings, you think that basketball's dying. Even if you listen to, they really get on my last nerve because I have a real understanding of how all this works. When they start talking about how basketball's dying and ESPN is dying and this one's dying, and you know, they don't understand that basketball truly is global. It's worldwide. And when you start really looking at what they're trying to do with this new negotiations going into the new setup that's going to take place, and everybody's, you know, having funerals and feeling sorry for TNT, and because you're going to lose Shaq and Chuck and, you know, Ernie and all these guys. The reason that they're in this position is because TNT is not a big network and they weren't ahead of the cuffs as we say, when the streaming was starting to change and people were moving away from that linear television and they started moving to the streaming perspective. They're not a big enough network where they're going to carry that. And everybody's like freaking out thinking they might go to NBC and streaming. Streaming is hugely important because of the fact that it's so global and everyone doesn't have access to these basketball games. So what Adam Silver's trying to do is open up the pie for the world to catch up because of the Dream Team and the Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird opening all that up. It's been going on for the past 20 to 30 years. So that's all happening. And I say all this to say, because I really want to get off that and help everybody understand ratings matter. Okay. Dallas, whether y'all think it's Mark Cuban or whatever, you are one of the biggest markets out there. So, hello, you now have Dallas, you have SGA, you have Luka, 2 MVP candidates going at each other. It's box office. Now you add Kyrie, now you add Jason Kidd, you add all the other narratives that want to go with this, and then you add the fact that everybody in the media has been talking about 7 games for this series from the beginning. Now, we all don't like this as fans because it can really go ugly for us, right? You know, but they love it because these live sports are bigger ratings for these networks than anything they can produce in real time because of the ratings have gone down, down, down over the years because of people moving away from TV. That's that side. Hold your breath on that. Hopefully, you know, but my concerns about the game itself is, and this is not for me to take any blame off Luka and Kyrie or any of these guys, you know, but we're sitting here almost watching Luka, you know, I mean, some people keep laughing and joking, but it's really not funny, you know, is that Dort is playing like a linebacker. He's not playing like a basketball. I mean, we've seen Luka hit the floor and fly up in the air more times than it's normal for an NBA. He's not playing football. I mean, last night Dort hit DJJ and he went flying in the air and not even a foul was called for that. You know, so those kinds of things, but that's not to give the team an excuse for not hitting their free throws. You're not going to win very many games if you're missing 50% or better of your free throws. But a little bit of what concerns me as Kidd right now is the adjustments he's not making. Like he did an interview on Sunday. Him and the landlord did one. And it was a Sunday interview. So that means it was after our Saturday game. You know, and even the reporters are starting to see, like, okay, your guys are getting double, triple teamed at times, like Lucas said, 5 times, you know, everything's collapsing on them. My concern has always been this from the beginning of the year. You know, I'm not disputing how great he's coached this team up to this point, but my main concern has always been this big thing. Can Jason Kidd coach our 2 superstars when he needs to, when he needs to have that hard conversation with Luka, when he needs to have the hard conversation with Kyrie? Because you can't tell me that they don't both respect him and aren't going to listen to him, you know, but the way that he talks, he sounds like Steve Nash all over again. He has rode the back of these 2 superstars the entire year and Luka for longer because he's played under him. And he just expects these guys to turn it on at every second. And no, you need to create opportunities to free up these guys to get more of an open lane. Like they don't even have breathing room, but yet Shea's got a lot of breathing room.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take all the time, but those are just my big things. Is because when you think about Phil Jackson, he had no problem going in Michael Jordan's face. Who are you going to pass to? Who are you going to do to? And another big one was Kobe. When he coached Kobe, he brought Kobe, because I listened to Kobe interview myself. He brought Kobe in his office and said, here's what I need you to do. He was scoring 40 points a game at that point because Shaq had been out and injured. And he said, I need you to stop. I need you to stop scoring, and I need you to start feeding the big fella. He said, because we're going to need him. And Kobe was on a streak. But, of course, that was never talked about until after he retired. So that's what I'm saying. That kind of coaching, is he willing and can he do it? And so far, I haven't seen it with him. Because they were specifically asking, what are you going to do to open these guys up or help them? Multiple reporters have asked him this. And his answer to everything is they're the best of players and they're this, they're that, and they'll figure it out. What do you mean they'll figure it out? So I'm just going to be quiet now, but those were my main things.
No, thank you, Nancy. Yeah, that is Kid in a nutshell, though. Like he'll. I think King phrases like the Mavs will giveth and they'll take it away. You know, and I think that clearly illustrates Kid. Like he's been great in the playoffs. I really haven't had much complaints, but he is going to have that conversation with Kyrie. Like, hey, you got to get this going early, and Luka, hey, you got to protect that ball. But I don't know if he does. Kyrie does say that he is very transparent and direct, so I don't know. Hopefully that's the case, though. But I appreciate you, Nancy. I think the next person that came up was Johnny B. What's up, Johnny B?
What's that word?
Hey, man, I know you predicted that we were going to take that L yesterday.
Hey, I'm right as usual.
So how you feeling today? What you want to get off your chest, man?
I feel like we're going to lose tomorrow, too.
Oh, my God, Johnny B. This is too early, dog.
Listen, bro, I think we're going to go out there and get blitzed. And I think we win when we come back to Dallas, and then Game 7 will be, whoever wanted more. But I mean, Shea has been the best player in this series, and then it's been PJ Washington, and that's kind of worrisome when you got Kyrie and Luka on the same team. Like Luka has been maybe like the fourth, fifth best player in the series. Like it's pretty bad out there, and he didn't really play good against the Clippers either. So it's kind of looked like he's going on a downward projection. Like even if we did make it out of this series, whoever we play out of the Nuggets and the Wolves, like Luka playing like this, we might get swept. So it's like, would that suffice everybody to make it to the Western Conference Finals to get swept? Like what would be better? Like losing here or getting to the next round and getting destroyed? That's kind of like where I am with it. I've been watching these games. I watched every one beginning to the end, and people say Luka is banged up, his knee hurts and everything, but Luka was playing like this before he banged his knee. Like he hasn't really been playing that well, even against the Clippers. Like Kyrie kind of saved us, and now PJ is saving us. Like I don't know, man. I think it might be time for him to go sit down and get him some rest. And I'm sure he's gonna play in the Olympics, and that might make it even worse.
Yeah, that is everybody's concern that he ends up playing in the Olympics. Because like Gogu clearly illustrated here said, my concern is that are we confident in the team's health? And I've been saying like my confidence meter on the Mavs is based on Luka's health meter, and I think he's playing at like 61, 62%. Like that's what I think he's playing at.
Yeah, it is. It's starting to decline. Like, and if you watch the games, I've been watching the games. Like I said in the chat, it don't seem like Luka and Kyrie can like really get no separation. Like they stopped doubling Luka and now they double Kyrie because it seemed like Dort can kind of hold Luka in check now. Like, you know what I mean? So now all they doing is doubling Kyrie, and it's looking like he can't really get away from J-Dub either. Like them young legs is starting to show. If you really watch the game.
Yeah, at a certain point we got to give OKC credit too. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like we got to give him some.
Yeah, they were getting beat up in the beginning of the game, and then they just stayed in there, man. Even though the rest may have helped a little bit, they stayed in there. They fought, and we had a lead. We had a 9-point lead in the fourth, and we gave it away, bro. So They went and took it.
What it was, if you look at the games, like, and I noticed this a trend with the Mavericks, like when the way the game looked, we should have been up more. Like it looked like we was destroying them, and we was only up
By
9
7.
points.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it
should have been
felt
up by like
the
25.
lead, like it felt like the lead should have been bigger than what it was. And I knew, like, once they couldn't create no separation, like I said, it's gonna come down to the end, and they're gonna somehow, some way, let this game slip. And they did just what I said they was gonna do. So I'm not surprised. Like they gave a good effort, and I don't think it's over. I still got the Mavs winning. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think that the series is over or whatever. But I think it's gonna take everything Luka has to, and the team has to beat these dudes. And I don't know what they're gonna have left come next series if we do win.
Yeah, that's a good point. I appreciate you, Johnny B. Appreciate you. Big J, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Well, how you feeling today? What you want to get off your chest, man?
I had to hop on because I saw Johnny B was on here, so I had to come in and counteract. I know Sticks is going to call, so back me up, but we had to come in and offset that foolishness because Johnny thought we was going to lose to Washington. I mean, he always bet against the Mavs. He always claimed, no matter who it is, we got the worst team. They are going to destroy. We could be playing a kindergarten team, and Johnny B be like, I don't know, man. I think they may be able to take us.
Them 5-year-olds going to take their ankles out.
Yep. So it's like, what you got to do is I disregard that part of it. I do believe that kind of more what Nancy was saying that, we've been giving Kid a lot of credit, but I also kind of have always thought the Kid is one of them roll the ball out type coaches. I don't think he has a master plan per se. I think that Luka and Kyrie are his plan, that they go out and make stuff happen and that the team, has been coming together and gelling, and that may be due to the vibe he sets in the locker room and all that, and instilling confidence. But I think that we're winning we're winning games because of the talent on the court, not necessarily the move. Now he has been much more active. He hadn't had them hands in his pockets. He's been challenging plays. He's been calling timeouts. He's been doing that, more than he had during the regular season. But, what we got to realize is, like you said, Luka's not 100%. Luka hasn't been 100% this whole playoffs. He wasn't 100% going into the playoffs. We know that Luka's knees was bleeding the last 2 weeks of the regular season. We noticed that early on. So it's not like, he was 100% and he got bumped this series. Luka's been playing hurt and has been getting worse, and it's not going to get better throughout the playoffs because it's not that kind of injury. Luka needs a summer off in order to be able to come back better. And we know he's going to play. And like I said, I really do hope that Slovenia gets eliminated early and they can just let Luka rest and chill out and go be a dad for the rest of the summer. But that's the thing. It is what it is. I think that we have enough firepower on the team to be able to win, but I think it really does boil down to our centers need to know that they're bigger and stronger than Chet. I mean, people keep talking about how big Chet is, how long Chet is, pause, but Chet is 7'1" with a 7'6" wingspan. Lively is 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan. Chet weighs 208 pounds wet. Lively weighs 240. Lively is bigger and stronger. Gafford is stronger. Gafford, he needs to remember what he did and go watch the tape of Game 6 when he put that elbow into Zubac's chest and do that to Chet every time he comes down in the paint. Not sit there and catch the ball at the top of the block and then try and figure out and take a little push shot or a hook shot. You need to barrel into somebody, back them down, back him down, make him foul you, which he will, and dunk on it. If you break him down like that, Chet cannot handle it. He will be knocked off his feet. He's too light. We got to stop playing like we're small and like we're weak. And like I said, like PJ and DJJ, they're doing their thing, but it's going to take all that. And like I said, I think we need to use more of our other guys, like put more of, from a defensive standpoint, put Josh on Giddey. I mean, not Giddey, on Shea. Let Josh run with Shea. And let that energy that Josh brings to the table and just run him around and keep him off the ball and keep him uncomfortable, not getting the ball where he wants to get the ball. It's not that this is, this is over, let's wave the white flag and just pray that they take it easy on us. No, I think we can go back and we can win. We can win in OKC. We won in OKC. We weren't supposed to win any games there. They were supposed to be so dominant. But like I said, people act like, they were so dominant in the regular season. they were the first seed and they won what 6 more games than we did. You know what I mean? It's not like it was some huge chasm where like, oh, we won 40 games and they won 58 games. It's not that big a difference between those two teams. And we remember the first half of the season we didn't have the team we got now.
Yep.
So we have the team that can take them out. We can match up with them. We just have to play like we are what we are.
Yeah,
Maybe I need to go give the inspirational speech to them and let them know who they are so they can get out there and play. But you know what I'm saying? And we have the team that can beat them. Everybody know that. They know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think like for me, I have that pit of my stomach feeling. Pause. It's just that feeling like in the back of your mind, like, well, Luka's not 100%, you know. And I think if Luka was 100%, this series is already over. Like, I thought the series against the Clippers should have been over like hella early. This series should have been over hella early, and that's just respect to what Luka is at 100%. You know, and I think right now he's playing at 60%, and it shows. Like, yeah, he's so good at 60% that you're hanging in there with the number 1 seed and you're tied. So if anything, we probably need to look at this in a better light. Like, oh well, damn. I mean, Luka's damn near 60%. We're tied against the Thunder. I think maybe we should change our perspective on it because Luka has not had a great playoffs. And
we not tied with them because of Luka though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
even at
I'm
61%, he looks that way. Shea looks way better than him.
No, I'm saying with him at 60%, you're somehow still tied with them. Not that he's the cause for it, but if he was 100%, this series looks a lot different. Y'all know that. I think we all know that. But yeah, let me move forward to the next guest up here at the panel. We got TMP, the Mavs Pod. Y'all go check him out, man. He does great content as well. How you doing, TMP?
Doing good, my man. How are you doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right. This stuff kind of helps, man. It's like
you breathing. Is this some therapy, some group therapy?
Yeah,
for you?
there's very therapeutic. I'll be able to go to sleep a lot better after this. What you got on your mind after last night's game, man?
Yeah, first off, let me give Nancy and Big J some props. They are, of course, right on Kid. And I don't even mean this as a criticism. He is not, Dagnall for the Thunder. He's not one of these X's and O's whiz kids, right? He's the player connection coach. He's the guy who can put his hand on your shoulder and go, yeah, I remember when I ... and tell a story, right? Obviously, he's Kyrie's all-time favorite player, and when he played with the Nets and all that. So yeah, Kid is not going to be the reason. Oh, these amazing in-game adjustments from Jason Kidd. Like, that's not who he is. And I've been highly critical of him while at the same time acknowledging what a good job he did this season and being on board with his extension, right? Like, that's the way the game is played. You get your team to 50 wins, 2 out of 3 seasons, you get an extension. That's the way the NBA coaching game works. But yeah, he's not going to consistently out-coach great coaches, right? That's just not his bag. And so we've really got, so what Big J was saying is totally right. Like, Kid's power as a coach is connecting to the players and inspiring the players and inspiring and infusing like that enthusiasm into the superstars, right? And so that's kind of what I wanted to say is listen, it is not too much for us to ask our 2 superstars to show up. It's not too much. And when your point is so right on, TGK, about Luka, whatever percentage is that, you've been saying 65, whatever the right number is, and it might totally be 65, but whatever the number is, he is not Luka, right? He is not who he is, but he still has Luka brain. He still has that insane, impossible Luka b-ball IQ. And yet to see him giving up on plays, to see him throwing the ball away on these careless, sloppy, looking lazy. I know he's not lazy, but looking lazy kind of passes. What did he have? 7 turnovers in yesterday's game? Like, that's impossible, man. Not from our MVP. And I always say that when I'm comfortable. I know some people I'm comfortable criticizing Luka, but I also followed up with, that's my MVP, y'all. Like, that's my guy. Like, that I am in his corner. I feel like as a lifelong Mavs fan, we should have earned the right to criticize our favorite players and our current Mavs heroes, and so like Luka has to be better. He has to be better. And if the threes aren't falling, he's gotta post up more. And don't tell me, well, Kid's not post up. No, if Luka and Kyrie go, hey, we're gonna post up Luka, J. Kidd will be like, cool, let's do it. And so, like, we've seen him be effective there, whether he's turning and scoring over Dort or whether he's kicking out to the corner three, whatever it is. We know he can be effective in other places than just the top of the key, right? We know that. We've seen it. And the fact that they haven't figured that out is a little frustrating to me. It's not too much to ask Kyrie Irving, one of the greatest shot makers in NBA history, to take more than 11 shots in a game. And I get it. They are pressuring him. They are attacking him. They are swarming him. And I acknowledge all of that. And then my comment to that is, he's Kyrie freaking Irving. Like, he can do it. He can beat double teams. He can beat. He's so lightning quick and jitterbug, electric, agile that he can do it, man. And maybe he won't do it every time, and maybe he shouldn't try to do it every time. But 11 shots in a game is not what we need from Kyrie Irving. We need more from that absolutely legendary shot maker. This whole, I posted a video on this earlier today, but like the whole idea that he seems like, he's so intellectual and he seems like he's in this zen, like, I'm a defender now, I'm a facilitator now, I'm a ball mover now. No. You are Kyrie Irving. You're one of the greatest shot makers in NBA history. And we got to get you. Listen, I will live and die with Kyrie Irving getting up shots. If he misses them, then he misses them, right? But him getting up 11 in a game where points were so hard to come by like they were last night, like, we cannot say, the double team's coming, Kyrie, so just keep kicking it to DJJ. Listen, I love Derrick Jones Jr., but I need Kyrie to take more attempts. And of course, Luka's got to stop playing like a fool. Like, he's got to play within himself, because if he plays within himself, wherever he is, 65%, 70%, 75%, whatever it is, if he plays within himself, he is still one of the smartest players in the world, one of the greatest passers who's ever lived, a great shot maker, and he's been solid in the mid-range and closer to the basket. He's been really, really solid. And so I don't think it's too much to ask our two superstars to carry us in games like last night. And last night they failed to do so. And that's not – I love those two guys, right? So that's not with malice, or like, I'm not the angry fan always wanting to shake his fist or throw stones. But they let us down last night, and I think we should be able to acknowledge that. Also, I was on Dallas Prospect, DDP's stream before the series started. And I told him, I said, one of my things to watch for was watch the free throws. Watch the free throws. Because in the regular season, the Thunder were the third best free throw shooting team in the league. And you want to know where the Mavs were? 27th. 27th. And the numbers are interesting, but we all have just watched and seen that this team is not a good free throw shooting team. That shouldn't be shocking. So just while I was listening to Nancy and Johnny B and Big J talk, I was looking up some of the playoff stats. The Mavs are unsurprisingly in this playoff stretch, in the playoffs right now so far in 2024, the worst free throw shooting team in the playoffs. They're shooting under 70% as a team in the free throw in these playoffs. And that's a recipe for losing games, right? You got one team that is clutch from the stripe and another team that is the worst team still in the playoffs. Or no, not the worst team still in the playoffs. The worst team in the playoffs. Every team of the 16 teams shot a better percentage than the Mavs are shooting right now. And so, like, man, that's just hard. It's hard to stomach that. Like, when it comes down to a free throw shooting contest, there should be one man who gets the ball. And that's Kyrie Irving. That's the guy who he has the ball and you go, whoo. I mean, and he missed some, last night. I know that. But like over the long stretch of his career, he's the guy you want to have that ball, right? He's the guy who will come through in those clutch moments. He's the guy who's not scared of the moment and who is an elite free throw shooter. And if I could just close out next time, I don't want to talk too long, but if I could kind of give us a big picture silver lining, because I still think we could win this series. I absolutely still do. These two teams, and here's the thing. These two teams are really close, even with Luka at 65%. Like, they're close. They're close. Last night, heartbreaking defeat was a 4-point game? Like, and with us missing a million free throws, 52% from the stripe, like, that's insane. So here's a big picture. Now, Mavs fans don't want to think this way, and I get it, but like, big picture, something that kind of hit me today that just kind of made me smile before I went back to my feeling bad about last night's loss was, man, how awesome is it that our 20-year-old rookie is getting these big time playoff reps? Like, that is awesome experience for him. That is going to be like, this is the stuff that like makes you, I mean, he's obviously a man, but like, this is the stuff that makes you go from being a rookie to a veteran, right? Like next year, he's going to step on the court in his sophomore year as a battle tested playoff veteran who showed up playing intense defense, blocking tons of shots. Like, and the offense was struggling and all that kind of stuff, but like, he's getting the reps, and those reps I think are going to carry him into the future in a really profound way. And so that thought hit me. And so if you were needing an encouragement, Mavs fan, just kind of let that kind of soak over you and kind of wash over you. Like, these reps he's getting are going to be huge for his career as a Maverick.
Great job, man. Great job. As always, y'all check out TMP, man. Catch him on YouTube. Catch him at what is it? Mavericks highlights or Dallas highlights? My fault. What's the Twitter?
At Mavs highlights. You got it.
At Mavs highlights. Y'all go check him out on Twitter and then also on YouTube, the Mavs Pod or TMP, man. Y'all check out my guy. But just to add to what you said, I would like to see Luka develop, just to kind of mix it up, develop a little bit of that Kobe game where he goes off of screens to get into the low post and kind of work from there. Just kind of switch the game up to where you're not always just this perimeter ISO or pick and roll player. Mix it up. I know they tried to mix it up in the previous game, but I just say mix it up a little bit more, become less predictable, right? And with Kyrie, I mean, we need him to be better, but it was really, really good points, man. I appreciate you. And we're gonna go to Sticks next. I hope Sticks is ready. Are you ready, Sticks? You ready to talk, man?
I'm always
I just asked you a question.
And I'm giving you a fucking answer.
Damn right.
Go ahead, Sticks.
Damn right, I'm giving you a fucking answer. So let's start off with two things. One, Luka going to Slovenia and playing for the Olympics. I was down on it too, but I've told you, TGK, about my kid and how much my kid is obsessed with basketball. And he made some very good points. One thing about Luka is he always comes back from the summer and he's in better shape. He goes home, he gets with his trainers he likes, he gets back with family, he does things, and he focuses and he cleans up. Unless they just have some crazy long run, more than likely he will rehab better, because he always comes in better than he is throughout the season. And that's something they need to figure out, why he keeps getting bigger during the season and he gets the way he is. But, I mean, in all reality, I couldn't get my kid to get on her stage because he's so damn shy. But, I'm less worried now about him doing that than I was, after kind of him explaining to me some things that he's paid attention to and noticed over the last few years with Lucas. So that's on that. On the rest of it, we lost by 4 points. Really, we lost by 2. If Luka hits a final, doesn't miss 2 free throws, doesn't miss one of those free throws, do we even lose? Probably, we don't know. So we didn't really even lose by 4. That's last minute bullshit. We shoot like absolute dog shit. And Shea doesn't scare me. Shea hasn't scared me one time before this season, before the series. During the series, he's a volume 2-point shooter. He shot 30% of their shots. 30% and dropped 34 points. Great, he shoots 50%, but they're 2-point shots. That's a lot of shots that don't get an extra point on them, right? And he didn't get a lot of and ones or anything yesterday. So Shea is not our fear. The fear has been this entire time J-Dub, which we have shut down, and Chet, which we have been shutting down. Last night, he finally started getting free throws, and he finally scored, right? And what did we lose by? We lost by what Chet was able to score. We did not control Chet like we've been controlling him. And so I look at all this and I see all the doom and gloom, just like the Clippers. We got blown out by the Clippers in game 4. And we're acting like the world is over, Chicken Little, sky is falling because of everything going on. And, I've been on all these things on playback, and I continue to say over and over and over again, let Luka be Luka. And everybody goes, he's got to stop shooting the threes. He's got to stop doing this. Well, y'all got to see Luka not being Luka last night. You got to see Luka being afraid to shoot a shot. And what did that do? 7 turnovers. He was lazy. He didn't look like he wanted to shoot because he's getting blasted about shooting the ball. And you know what him not shooting the ball tells the other team? Don't worry. Step into the lanes. He's going to pass out. We know where he passes. Now, because they're not afraid of a shot, because they will always be worried if Luka's shooting that they're going to go in. You cannot take Luka lightly. But because Luka deferred last night, he looked like goddamn Steve Nash. which was why I disagree. Steve Nash, I'm going in. No, you're not, Steve. You're going to throw the ball out to Dirk or Jet. Just stand in the way of the pass. God damn it. Close game. There went Steve Nash with a turnover again. That's all I ever saw with Steve Nash. Drove me up the wall. When we got rid of Steve Nash, I may have been one of the few fans that was like, thank God, because I'm tired of watching what I saw Luka do last night, which is a very predictable, non-shooting point guard. In fact, we had two of them because Kyrie did the same thing, except Kyrie was a little more active in his passes. They weren't expecting Kyrie still, right? So Kyrie's passes were getting through for the most part. But this is the problem. You can't take a guy, have a game plan, have him play a certain style his whole life, and then say, you're injured, just don't play like you. Because when you go to work every day and you don't do what you do, guess what? You suck at it. Let Luka be him. If I have to lose with Luka bombing 30% because he can't hit a shot, at least I want him out there scaring them, because all it takes is Luka to get hot for a quarter and he will bury them with 16 points. He may have sucked for 3 quarters, but that one time means the whole defense plays different. And last night, they played us different in the second half. It looked like the Clippers game 1. It looked like the reverse. We came out strong on defense. We played good. Just couldn't score enough to catch up in the Clippers game, right? Well, this game, we couldn't score just enough to really put them away. Granted, they were giving them the calls early on. We started getting some calls and it flipped. And they were getting free throws, and we weren't really doing very good with that. And Luka, when he gets in this mode and he can't score, Luka goes into Luka, which is what? Luka starts throwing his fits. He starts doing it. And I'm going to say it. I love Luka. But he needs to get his happy ass up off the floor, stop bitching, and run down and play defense. He needs to stop the complaining. You could see him last night. He looked at one of the refs and he started complaining. The ref goes, I get it, Luka. I get it. If you could read his lips. He goes, just go on. Right? Like that's the thing. Like, we have to be honest about it. But when you take Luka out of his abilities, then you get the worst of Luka, right? You get the complaining Luka. You get all the beat up that Luka was going through. You get all the pain. You get nothing that gets him out of the suffering he's dealing with. And so then you take the rest of the players. Kyrie, I don't know what was in Kyrie's head last night. Kyrie just didn't seem to want to play offense. And I think some of it's him trying so hard to be good on defense that they look taxed on the offensive end. And I said that on playback. They look taxed. They were busting ass on defense. They went down the offense and it was like, oh, God, throw the ball over there. I don't want to do this. Oh, God, I don't want to shoot either. And then PJ won't take Chet to the chest. Gafford won't, like Big J said, none of our bigs will take them to the chest. They won't bully them. And you know what we should have in the motivational speech? Who's in the locker room saying, is really 7'1", 208-pound Chet Holmgren stopping you from getting to the goal? Really? Are you that big of a bitch? Like, you're going to let that skinny motherfucker keep you from a rim? Where is the activity in our locker room? Because I'm sorry, I don't see the aggressiveness coming out, at least at the first of the game, saying, I ain't going to let that skinny-ass white dude bully my ass around on the court, right? I'm not going to let that happen. And that's coming from another skinny white dude. Like, you don't let a man push you around. You got to step up and set a tone. And they're not setting that tone, which that's where Kid is failing. You may say he's a player's a coach, but he doesn't seem to know how to get our players motivated. He doesn't seem to know how to get them like in their heads going, I ain't going to let that happen to me. And so we have a team where you have DJJ, who's highly predictable. He's either going to shoot a three or he's going to fake a three. 90% of the time he's going to fake it because he's bricking everything. And he's going to do the dumbest. I'm going to run and launch things that don't work 95% of the time. So it's predictable, easy to take charges, easy to do all this. Then you've got Josh Green, who's either going to shoot a corner three or he's going to run down the baseline and jump in the air. That's the two moves, right? And then you've got PJ, who's finally stepping up and being able to do things, but he still isn't doing it. And you know what? The one thing PJ was good at? Floaters. You know where Chet's standing under the rim. Why did we see no floaters from PJ yesterday? Then it would just dropped right over his head. We didn't see those from PJ yesterday. And now you've got Kyrie and Luka playing like shit and turning over and doing it. The fact that we were even in that game, everybody should be ecstatic. We played like shit. And they barely beat us because we couldn't hit free throws. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to get down. If we lose, then we deserve to lose because we are a better team than them. So I'm not going to stress over this shit until we lose. And when we lose, then you know what? then maybe that's a good thing for us because Lively gets the experience like he talked about. All the guys got some little chemistry together. Luka repealed himself. Maybe it justifies Nico fire selling a bunch of these guys. When we needed them to step up, they didn't do it. So that's kind of how I look at everything, and that's what I want to see going forward. And so I'm not gonna be like 2006, 2007 when I wanted to put my fist through a wall. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna emotionally destroy myself over some rich players that decide they don't want to show up. Like we got enough problems in this world, right? So like I don't lose it like that anymore. I've learned to control that. And I think unfortunately too many Mavs fans are just riding the emotional roller coasters. And I think enough of us that have been around the Mavs long enough have realized you can't do that, or it's not a healthy obsession. So that's kind of where I'm at now on everything. That's kind of what I want to see. And I'm not down on this. Like I think everybody should look at all the negatives and say, we lost by 4. We're not going to play that bad again. We're not. If we do, we deserve to lose. Who cares? Like we deserve to lose if we play that bad again. So I don't see anything wrong with what happened yesterday. I think it was a good ass beating at the end to wake them up a little bit.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Man, see that this is why this stream is on tonight for a therapeutic session. Appreciate you got that all out. I'm pretty sure by reading the comments, it seems like a lot of people felt that. So appreciate you, Sticks. But what I will say, and what I do want to add to this.
Hey, before you do that, because I saw Johnny B comment about what I said. Can I comment one thing more real quick?
Go ahead,
Johnny B. If you think the coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder went in that locker room and said, "Hey, a win's still a win," yeah, and then you know what he said? And we got lucky because they never shot this bad in their lives. There is no way the Oklahoma City Thunder coach is going, guys, look at what we did yesterday. That is not a win. That is you got effing lucky for one game. And it's a win, but it ain't going to win a series.
It's a loss. The series is 2-2. It's still a loss.
But that's not a motivational statement for a coach.
A barely lost is still a loss. At the end of the day, it's a series. They got the win. We got the L. That's all I'm saying. So we don't do moral victories, bro. You lose.
You don't claim moral wins when you know for a fact that if you won't get that out of the Mavs again.
Are you sure?
I'm not taking that. If I'm a head coach, I'm not going in and going, good job, guys. We won a game because the other team sucked so bad. They've never played this bad in their lives.
Did you see them? Did you see them after the game?
I'm not talking about the dumbass players and I'm not talking about their corny ass players. I'm talking about their coach.
Oh, okay.
Proper coach is not going to celebrate that win.
He looked like he was part of the celebration with him, but
he's an idiot.
He won. Like, listen, we was losing. They were winning the whole game, and when it came, like he said, they came back from the most 10-point deficits and won. I feel good about was him because
I got a question. For everyone on the panel, I got a question. If we won that game last night, would anybody have felt good about that win, even though we won? Would y'all have walked away going? Would y'all have walked away saying, "Man, we won"? We just said we won, but holy God, we can't do that again, or we're going to lose this series, even 3-1.
Nah, if we have 3-1, I'm happy.
Hold on, Johnny B. Who was the most clutch team in the NBA this year, too? You talk about them with the most 10-point. Who cares? We are the most clutch. That's what counts in the playoffs. Yeah, that was a bad loss. We sucked. Whatever. You brush it off, and now it's best of 3. That's all this is. And with the most clutch team in the league, I think we can do that. I know you want to hate everything. You think we suck, and I don't even know why you come on these shows except to tell us we're going to lose every night. But
I don't tell you you're going to lose every night.
Dude, that's all you ever say. That's all you ever talk about is how you are the sky is falling chicken little every day.
I said we're going to win game 3 and game 2.
Okay. But the vast majority, everybody on here knows what we're talking about.
I do have a question for you guys. So what adjustments do you guys think that Kid is going to make tomorrow to counteract what just happened here? Because I listened to him in an interview. Let me just say this and then go ahead. I listened to him in an interview, and the reporters asked him about trying to open up Luka and Kyrie, and his response to that was to hit the open guy. Now, what did we all just talk about? Whose job is it to show up? Kyrie and Luka. And his answer and counter answer to that was to hit the open guy more. That means our role players.
Johnny B, I think you wanted to respond to this, right? Go ahead.
Now, I'd like to hear all their opinions.
Okay. Well, for me, from
Yes, ma'am.
watching the game, I think the one thing that they do need to do, and I don't even think it's adjustment. I think it's just Luka needs to protect the ball, and this is what I was trying to get to before Sticks cut me off, trying to ask Johnny B a question. Luka had 7 turnovers, man. 7. You know how many OKC had? 8. You're talking about one player that has that big of an impact on your team had 7 turnovers. If you take away the name and you just look at stats and you're like, damn, who the hell has 7 turnovers? Like, put him on the bench. Like that's how I'm looking at it, right? Like if I'm coaching a team and you're like, hey, you're gonna coach this team tomorrow. Here's a stat line of what they average, and let's say I saw this dude had a recent game of 7 turnovers. Like, nah, we need to give it to the guy that don't turn the ball over, because in the playoffs, every possession matters triple the amount that it would matter in the regular season. So if you're going to have 7 turnovers by one player, it literally accounts for like 21 turnovers. Just the way I look at it. You have to exaggerate the stuff, right? And that's how I feel about it. And I think we need to protect the ball more. We've been one of the best teams in protecting the ball. I think we've been top 3 in protecting the ball. And against OKC, we have been pretty poor in that realm. So I just need Luka to protect the ball better. And if he does that, let's say he just has 1 turnover versus 7, that's 6 possessions that could end up in points, right? Or 6 possessions that don't end up in a turnover, and that gives you an opportunity for offensive rebound, for all these things. I think if you limit your turnovers, then you could win the game. Because let's put it like this. If we had 6 more possessions in that game, do y'all think we win? I think we do. And that's my adjustment. Anybody else want to share theirs?
Nancy wanted an answer from all of us, right?
Yeah. Please.
We got to do what we're told. She said we had to.
No, I just want to hear your perspectives and your opinions, right?
That's why I said yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll answer. I swear. No, I think that's Jason Kidd said the same thing the whole time, so it's hard to go off of anything. That's the problem, Jason Kidd. He tries to be a little too cute. It's always the easy answer, like just hit the open shot. Our best defense is our offense. We got to score 149. Shut up, Jason. Kidd. Like I'd rather you just not answer.
Kid ain't gonna give you much, man. He's the what is this? A cerebral assassin. He's not gonna give you any of his game plan in the post game. He's just not.
And I'm okay with that if you see the adjustments in the game, but I didn't see them last night.
Well,
I didn't. They ran the same game plan they had that worked for them. It just didn't work for them.
For PJ Washington, they were all talking about limiting him. So where did he look to get those extra points?
DJJ got you 17, I think. So
See,
DJJ stepped up.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
DJJ stepped up. It's just the Luka turnovers and being inefficient, and the Kyrie inefficiency and lack of aggressiveness. Though, and obviously free throws, right? We don't want to. And again, they matched you in shot attempts. They had the same amount of offensive rebounds, and they match you in shot attempts. If you're gonna have the same amount of shot attempts versus OKC Thunder, and they're a better shooting team, they shoot the ball better than we do. If they're gonna shoot the same amount of shots as you, pretty sure they're gonna beat us. So I don't know what they need to do. They need to repeat what they did Game 3, where we had 10 more shots than them. And that's the only way that's going to work. And that's how I look at it. What's up, Big J?
And I was just going to say, to what Nancy was saying is I think that we have to be more deliberate. I think that Luka and Kyrie need to be more deliberate with their scoring. That means if Luka's outside shots aren't falling initially, sorry about that. We need to get him to go
on the stream here.
We need to get him to go in the paint. I mean, that's the thing. He's a great at posting up. I think he needs to get in there and post it and create from there. And if he can keep them honest by scoring in there and work that pick and roll with the bigs, then I think all that frees up. Because, I mean, I think the others gave what they could give. I think, between PJ stepping his game up, between, like I said, DJJ giving us points, I think everybody put in and did a little something It's just Luka and Kyrie need to do what Luka and Kyrie do, and which means if they, like I said, if they can't get it rolling from the three, then go in there and paint, and then create, like I said, work the pick and roll and create, and either you shoot or you throw it to one of your bigs and let them throw it down.
Yep.
On a positive note, the Stars won 5-1. They're 3-1 lead.
Woohoo! Oh man, look at that! A Dallas team actually taking care of business. Look at that. All right, well, Johnny B, you got any adjustments for this next game, or you just want them to win it?
Just win, bro. Like, I think all of the extra is like it is what it is. Just win. Make a free throw. I mean, it's free. At the end of the day, you're standing there. It's nobody defending you. Is you just there? Like, I don't understand how you miss that many free throws. Like, against a team that takes a lot of free throws and makes them. Like, that was ultimately the deciding factor. Like, you played well defensively. Like, do that, but you gotta do something about Shea, man. Shea was killing, man, when it mattered the most. Like, why not? Like, you see what they was doing to Kyrie, send a double. Like, y'all letting him play one-on-one against people and he cooking everybody. Like, that's I
think what they should do is like send a late double. Like when he gets into the that push off move, just go and attack and try to get that block from behind. Because he's not gonna know it. Because I haven't seen him where he does a spin move and he stops. He goes straight into his shot motion. He doesn't stop to look to pass. So yeah, that's one thing I'd try to do to try to block him from the back. Pause.
Yeah, well, his block from the back should be pretty easy because the way he shoots, it's a predictable lean, and all they got to do is slide a guy behind and just clip that off his hands. So
DJJ, 4 blocks. All right, man. I'm about to end this stream. I appreciate y'all being here. I don't want to be here up all night. I got to get some sleep. Can't be up till 12 like I was last night. But I appreciate the panel. I appreciate everybody tuning in the comments. Damn, we play tomorrow. Damn, I got to be live again tomorrow. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
So cut your ventilator off, whoever that is.
I'm dead. Let me mute her. Nah, I don't know. Mute all y'all. Let me mute all of y'all. All right. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all being here. It's been your boy TGK. I hope y'all took something from this. I hope y'all heard all the panel, shared their thoughts. Hopefully y'all took some from that as well. Again, this is gonna be we're in a tough spot. It's not a tough spot, but it feels tough. It does feel tough because we are 2-2 series tied when you felt like you should have been 3-1. Hopefully they take care of business tomorrow, but hopefully y'all feel a little bit better after this therapy session and dealing with all the fallout of the Dallas Mavericks losing Game 4 in a very disappointing, heartbreaking, gut-wrenching fashion. But again, appreciate everybody being here. It's been your boy TGK. Salute the Sticks, Nancy, Big J, Johnny B, everybody in the chat, TMP, and we out of here, man. Good night.